Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Living Your Life. I'm your host, Kier Spates. A lot of y'all know me from Junior, from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. Now, on Living Your Life, we talk in detail about our personal journeys with sickle cell disease as we help each other look to find solutions to improve our quality of life. To help us navigate these conversations, explore options, I'm joined by my good friend and co-host, Dr. Corey Hebert. He's a world-renowned author, medical doctor, and a sickle cell expert. I trust him. Please welcome my friend, my co-host, Dr. Corey Hebert. Dr. Hebert, how you doing, man?
Man, Happy New Year to you, brother. I'm doing great, trying to live my life. We had a good 2023 and a better 2024. I'm going to tell you this, though. With all this sickle cell stuff that's in the news right now, this is our year. The guests that we have on will bring it, and, man, we got to make some new stuff happen this year.
Yeah, man, I believe in that too, man. You know, that's important for us to do, man, is just to be the voices out here. You know, I accept my role as one of the leading voices in sickle cell. I choose to be that, man, because here's what I want to do, man. My goal really is to have a better outcome for all of us, not just some of us, not just a few. I want everybody to live their best life. You know, I want everybody to be living their life. That's the purpose of the show, is to show y'all that. Look at all these people who are not saying, woe is me. You know, these are people that are really doing something and saying, "Hey, no, I don't feel bad. I'm actually living." Yeah. You know, and so today is no different, Dr. Hebert. You know, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again. I got a great guest for us today, because our guest today is Dima Hendricks. She's a sickle cell survivor and advocate who's been actively involved in health workshops and panel discussions with professional roles at the American Red Cross and the American Heart Association and American Heart Stroke Association, and is the founder of Through the Pain Incorporated. Dima's pageantry achievements include titles like Miss Black Dorchester USA and Mrs. Massachusetts International, and she is now the 2024 International Mrs. New England. Additionally, she has over a decade of experience as a pageant director, coach, and judge. Her journey and triumphs are chronicled in her book, Unleashing Royalty. We're going to talk about all those things today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Living Your Life, Mrs. Dima Hendricks. Dima!
Hey, y'all.
Hey,
Dima! How you doing, Dima?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Oh,
Good.
you know what?
You?
We're doing great. Doing great, Dima.
Yeah, we need to call her queen or something with all them titles.
I know, man. I mean, you've been out here doing your thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one day at a time.
You know, and you know what, Dima, you know, like I said, me and Dr. Hebert, we have a lot of things we want to discuss with you. We want to cover your world in pageantry, and then also your advocacy and all the things that you do, because you're doing so much. You're doing so many things. You've been trying to get on this show for quite some time, and we finally got to where our schedules will meet up, and you can come on and tell everybody what it is you're actually doing out here in the community. Let's start with this, because your partnership with the Red Cross. And, you know, we talk about the Red Cross. We thought about donating blood, you know, the blood shortage. And, you know, last year I was involved as well with the Join by Blood initiative. So can you speak to our audience about what it is you're doing?
So right now, I'm one of the spokespersons for the American Red Cross. And I think it's a vital role because we as warriors, you know, we need blood. Not just one pint at a time. Sometimes there's a lot of sickle cell warriors that have exchange transfusions and they get maybe up to 8 pints of blood at a time. And it's something that's needed. And with the FDA announcement, people think, oh, you guys have a cure. You don't need any more of our blood. But in fact,
what cure?
That's a misconception. That's a misconception.
Yeah.
We have a cure, so we don't need any more of our blood. When in fact, the curative therapy options, which are being made available, they require more blood as well, because one of the components is having an exchange transfusion. So whether you're a warrior trying to look for the curative therapy route, or you're just a warrior just having regular exchanges, or an individual blood transfusion, blood is needed across the board.
Well, Dima, this is the thing. If you're a warrior for the low price of $6 million, you too can have a cure. How many warriors? I don't know a warrior that can write a check for $6 million. Now I'm sure they have them. But you made a good point that people don't. The media makes you think that there's a cure. So right now, we as Black people, we don't give blood. I don't know what do you think the reason is? I mean, because we call each other blood. What's up, blood? What's up, blood? But you won't even give a 1 pint. Why do you think that's the case?
There's so many, a lot of it goes back to prior to Tuskegee, our trust and our mistrust with the medical system, our mistrust with with race and race equality and what you doing with our blood. And then I saw a comment on Twitter. Someone said our backs and our blood was already into this country. Why should we give blood? And in fact, there's actually our counterparts, people that look like us, especially, that need more blood. And so it's just, and then there's a lot of cultural and religious uh, issues around giving blood as well. And I think we just need to educate ourselves even more. I tell people all the time that, you know, when you give blood, you save lives, and you can save up to 3 lives. And the elements of the blood are like the red blood cells, the plasma, and the platelets. Those are I say as someone from church. I like, look, that's the Holy Ghost. That's the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost right there. They have all of their elements and they work in different ways. So I just think we need to educate people in our churches, especially, educate our fellow brothers and sisters so they can go out and give blood.
Yeah, and Dr. Abraham, like, well, why would you feel Dr. Abraham like that? Some of the reasons why you can see from the medical side when you look at patients and say, okay, you don't want to give blood because of.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be, and this is kind of part of our community, you couldn't really give blood if you had some problems, right? So when you go to that screening and you with your friends or whatever, and then you try to give blood and they say, sir, you can't give blood because you got HIV, you're anemic, you got too many tattoos, all kind of things that you couldn't give blood. So it's kind of like a little bit of a stigma. And also, people scared of needles, man. People do not like needles, bruh. And so that's one thing. But my fear of needles has to overcome the fact that I know that Black people are dying and we don't give blood. So we gotta do this. We gotta get on the bone marrow registry. We gotta get on all that stuff, man. But we just don't. Inherently, we just feel like we don't want to do that, and we gotta do better. We gotta do better.
And for me, I tell people all the time, if I could deal with the sickle cell pain and needles and ports and IVs and all of the things, you can have a little butterfly needle.
That's right. 25.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah. And it's crazy part because when all the places they've stuck me, they've stuck me everywhere. My arm, hand, leg, forearms, back.
Did you get an IV in your toe yet?
Yes.
What?
I had to get one. I had to get one time. I did.
In your toe,
hey man,
in your finger,
in your bone.
Yeah, in the finger. Yeah, but you saying, and you know what? I found out the technology is so crazy when they're looking for veins. When they bring the vein scanner in there and it shows all your veins and they go to I said, oh man, get to seeing that. I mean, that means I'm in there a whole lot. If I got to see that much, I've been stuck a whole lot. You, my friend, are scared of a butterfly needle, and it won't even be that long.
And how about this though? This is how the world works. Everybody's scared of needles until you need some blood. See, that's what people don't understand. You be driving home right now, get in a car accident, you need some blood. They'll be like, well, I ain't got no blood. Because nobody in your family get no blood. That's why. You see what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson said, everything is all fun and games until somebody get punched in the mouth, right? That's the deal.
And that's important work you're doing, Miss Dima. And so, what is your whole thing with the American Red Cross and Stroke Association? What are you doing with them?
This was in the past. I was a stroke survivor, and so I would go.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So one of the complications, as you know, for sickle cell was a stroke, and I had a TIA when I was 11 years old, which is a mild stroke. And so since then, I was for about, I want to say, in my early pageant career, like when I was in the Miss Black organizations, they were my go-to platform, and I was educating about stroke and sickle cell. So that phased into this platform, which is the Red Cross Association with sickle cell disease.
See, I mean, see, this is what we do this for, that man. This is called living your life. I mean, you didn't even let that stop you, a stroke, let alone now you have titles. Now you Mrs. Massachusetts. Now you Dorchester, USA. Now you Miss New England International. Well, all this stuff here.
And you know the crazy part about that, Miss Dima, is that do you know right now that I know there's more than 100,000 people with sickle cell. They say 100,000, but we know there's more. But of that 100,000, only 30,000 are actually getting treatment. 70,000 are lost because they're scared that they're gonna lose their job, or they just kind of just not living their life, living down because of that, right? And they're embarrassed, all that kind of stuff. What this show is trying to do is to show people that you can still be a beauty queen. You could still be, in pageants. You could do all this stuff. And I know that's you in that picture behind you right there, looking all fly. That's not you back there?
Oh, that's a painting.
It looked like you. That's how fly you look. And I want people to recognize that if you have sickle cell right now and you live in that, I ain't gonna get no treatment. There's a lot more treatment options out there than you know, and you need to come out. You need to live your life better, and you are making people feel that way, Dima.
Another reason why I feel that there's not a lot of treatments being distributed amongst the warriors is because I feel like, how there's food deserts, there's also treatment deserts for sickle cell warriors. I live in a city actually where it's not too far from Boston, but everyone goes to Boston to get the treatment. So the people here, the doctors here in the hospitals in this city that I'm in right now, they don't have any clue about sickle cell. In fact, if an ambulance came right now and sent me to my local hospital, they will send another ambulance from that local hospital to my Boston hospital because they have no idea what they're doing. We don't have a lot of sickle cell specialists in the area. And just imagine, I'm in Boston, which is the best care. Massachusetts has the best of the best care, which is why I'm still here in the cold. But imagine for someone who lives in the Midwest with sickle cell disease. They're experiencing the same issue. There's people that have to take flights from different cities just to get care.
And it's a straightforward protocol. We have the protocols. We know what to do. It looks just like, if you don't have this, then do this. If this, then this. It's not that difficult. But what you got to do is have an open mind and have sympathy, but more than sympathy, have empathy. And a lot of doctors just don't have that for sickle cell because they've never seen a sickle cell patient and they don't want to learn. And that's sad. That's real sad.
Oh, absolutely, that's sad. And so it forces people like Dima to do other things. Like, let's talk about Through the Pain. Let's talk about your organization. Mm-hmm. See, because now we got to start creating our own organizations to advocate on behalf of other people, because since you don't know, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
Talk to us about Through the Pain.
So I created Through the Pain out of sheer, I really didn't want to. My husband pushed me into it because I had such a passion to help sickle cell warriors and their caregivers. And I was trying to link up with other organizations, and I feel like no shade or anything, but I feel like the bigger organizations build on clout and who they know. And here I was, even though I was a pageant queen, even though I was a speaker and doing all these things, it's just like, oh, you're not a doctor. You can either you don't have a seat at this table, or you're
Kier
not.
knows about that, don't you, Kier?
Yeah.
I know a lot about it.
Kier knows about that.
Yeah.
And you're not important. So let's scoot you, and you're a woman, and let's we don't want to hear what you have to say. And in an area with predominantly white men kind of taking over, even in these organizations that are for sickle cell, or a predominantly Jewish population that are the doctors and the heads of these sickle cell organizations, I just felt like it was time for, well, my husband felt like it was time for a newer voice to come out and help people, especially within our community of Brockton. There's over the school population in our city. There's over like 85 kids with sickle cell disease in the school district. We're talking K through 12. So imagine if there's 80 something kids in this city, Imagine how many people with sickle cell are in our city. Like just think about it. You know what I mean? And those are the counted warriors. Those are the warriors that said, "Hey, I have sickle cell." So we've come to realize that this not only affects our city, but it affects our whole community as a whole, because we're talking about, for every patient, we have a caregiver that's with that child that needs the help. We also notice that in this city, they have to take all those patients to Boston, to get care. So there were so many reasons why we started this organization, and that community aspect was the beginning of the organization.
That's a lot of work, and thank goodness that your husband just pushed you in this direction.
Because you're
Man,
tired
Because
sometimes. When you
I'm
have sickle cell, you're tired.
I
You know?
told my board the other day, look, I'm tired, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm being transparent. I'm exhausted because, it's not just because I'm tired with the sickle cell. It's a lot of working parts. It's a lot of things that I have to answer to, that people are coming to me for. And it can get a bit exhausting, but I am encouraged every day when a patient calls me and say, "Hey, you helped me with ABC," or "This helped me, and thank you for that referral to this doctor. It's been rewarding."
yes, yeah, and the and that's what people have to understand is that we highlight you guys on this show because it's important that people see that this is the work you're doing, because maybe somebody in Boston, in that area or where you live, did not know you existed, and they know that now they can come to you, and it could pull them out. It could pull them out into our community and say, "Listen, we need to keep track of you. We need to keep your treatments together. We need to see your doctors, your hematologists. You need to see all these people on a regular basis so we can give you the best life we can." And I just don't understand why people don't understand. Like, that's just the goal, is to live. It's to live as long as we can.
Yeah, Kier, the thing I find is that, how like I'm from New Orleans, right? And so we have the New Orleans Saints, and they used to be the New Orleans Aints, and nobody ever went to the game. Nobody ever liked them. You put bags on their heads, and we lived down, and our expectation was just down because we didn't think they were ever going to win. Then they won a Super Bowl, right? So then everybody expects so much more every year now. And I think people with sickle cell sometimes get into that thing. They're so used to getting beat up and doctors treating them bad, feeling bad. They just feel like there's no hope. And so why should I go to this white doctor who's going to tell me he ain't going to give me my morphine? Why should I try to go work out because my bones are going to hurt? Why? It's nothing for me. And I think people get really sad and they live down to their disease. And I think right now we got to realize that there's so many things we can do to live up to our disease and raise it so that we can have better and higher expectations. And I think that's what you're out there doing, giving people the option to have higher expectation of having this disease. Because you don't have to, with Kier, we talk about this all the time. You're given a death sentence at birth. You're given an expiration date when you gonna die. We don't have to.
They're still waiting on that. They still waiting on that one.
They waiting on
Yeah,
you.
they wait on me. I'm proving the doctor wrong right now. Oh, they told me at 11. I'm telling you right now, I got scared when I hit 30. I said, "Y'all sure I'm going to die?" Because I made it to 30. Y'all told me 11. Y'all been wrong for a while now. And so, you look at these things and, everybody's story is so different in our community. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different walk, a different journey. Like my journey was the support of my parents, because my parents didn't allow me to feel sorry for myself and allow me to do things that were challenging to me, even with my condition. And so, you look at those things that everybody didn't have that. And so it's my responsibility, it's Dima's responsibility, it's Dr. Ava's responsibility to say, you can beat these challenges too. You can overcome these things, because you have a book now. And I like the title of this book. And let's talk about what motivated you to start a book, and it's called Unleashing Royalty. What is that? What does that phrase mean?
It's to unleash the queen or the king within. And I just started writing this book because, as a pageant director and a competitor, I was seeing things in the pageant world that was just disgusting to me. The competitiveness, the cattiness, I deserve to win because I have a $10,000 dress. or I deserve to win because I look better than this person. My walk is on point, my talk is on point, but there's just this whole entitlement when it comes to the pageant world. Um, and for me, I felt like the underdog in all the pageants that I did, because here is this awkward Black girl with sickle cell disease, always in the hospital, and here I am winning pageants. And not winning pageants because people are sorry for me, and not winning pageants because I'm kind of cute, but winning
Hey,
pageants. But I'm winning pageants because I have a vision, and I have a platform and a legacy. And a lot of these girls did not understand the importance of having a valid platform and making sure that they had a great legacy. So I talk about that in my book, and I talk about the connection to Queen Esther, of how Queen Esther was an orphan, and she was adopted by Mordecai, and her whole story, and how she was chosen out of all of these people. A Jewish girl was chosen to be queen. And even while after she was crowned, she still had a responsibility to save her people. And she used her platform, and she used her connection to the Jewish people as a fire to say, hey, I gotta save my people. And so this is what I do when I with sickle cell disease. It's like, this is my sickle cell's my platform, and there's a fire within me to reach back and save my people.
I love that, because when you said like they were, they would look at you differently. I think I hear you saying that instead of them understanding that they were already queens and didn't need the crown.
Yes.
And
and not pageant
yeah,
stuff is catty. I've
It's
seen videos,
really
I've seen TV shows about that, man. That is
yeah,
catty anyway.
So they would look at the aesthetics, that $10,000 gowns, plastic surgeries, having the right fitness coach and the pageant coach. The pageant coach and fitness is all, it's all encompassing, and I get it. But when you have to change your like plastic surgery, or have to change who you are, or buy these expensive gowns to win a title, it's just
right.
there's a
Yeah,
disconnect for
because
me.
it's more about who you are, and like you said, your mission and what you were doing. See, what made you stand out is because you believed in the vision that you had about helping people with sickle cell disease in pageantry, and that's a story. That's somebody else who can say, I can see myself doing that. And there's so many people that could just look at you and say, oh my gosh, I can be Miss New England. And be Black doing it.
Right. And you could do all these things through Christ that strengthens you. And you could do it through the pain. That's why I called my organization Through the Pain. I used to be a dancer. I would dance through the pain. I would sing through the pain. I worship at church through the pain. And it's through that time. I feel like it's the pain that molds you and makes you stronger and be a better person, that you'll eventually be. So, yeah,
Yeah,
They say that won't kill you,
it
that will
makes
make
you
you stronger.
stronger.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah, but sometimes you feel like though, it's like all these hard things that gives you character. Sometimes I'm like, I've got a bit too much character by now. I'm dripping with character. Can you take some of the pain
Yeah.
away?
Yeah.
I'm dripping with character.
Which is why sickle cell is like a double-edged sword. You
Yeah.
like you learn so much from your affliction,
What have
and
I said,
even
Dr. Hebert? See, Dima, you speaking for me now. Go ahead. I've said this, Dr. Hebert. They asked me.
you
Yes, go ahead, Dima.
like sickle cell is a thorn in your side, and this is biblical from Paul when he talked about the thorn in his side and his affliction. I've learned so much from my affliction that I'm able to have not only a better relationship with God, but I'm better to understand people. I'm better to be more empathetic, and I've learned a lot because of my affliction. But it's this very affliction that you want to just
Because I tell them, I said, you know what? They asked me like if there was a cure for sickle cell, would you take it? I said probably not, because it made me who I am. I said I understand empathy because I've needed it. I've needed it. I understand compassion because I've needed it. I mean, until you have to actually need these things, you know, I understand praying for people because I needed it. I understand what it's like to endure a sickle cell crisis that you can never even understand. So I understand that the pain levels that I go through may break somebody else. It may even kill someone else. And it has. It has done that. And, you know, if they've already talked you down, they've already told you only got so far to live, they've already told you all the things you were not going to be, they've already told you what you are not capable of doing. How many people get that in the average life? You may get some of them. You don't get all of them. We get them all. And so I look at Dima and look at what you're doing. See, I mean, you're a beauty queen. You've done all of these things. You started a foundation and you wrote a book. And I can't get my nephew to clean his room.
It's okay. I can't even get my son.
I don't think they understand.
It's all right. It's all right.
You need some sickle cell in your life.
Exactly. You're gonna
get you some motivation in here. Yeah. So, you know,
let you carry this crown for a couple
you get
of
this
days.
right back. You get this right back. So what are your future goals now? What are you working on now?
I am going to be competing in the 2024 International Ms. Pageant. And hopefully this time I'll win. Last year I was first runner-up. But I think I'm polishing my platform a little bit better.
Yeah.
You know, making sure the body's right, you know. So
where's it gonna be?
It's gonna be in September, Orlando, Florida.
All right.
Look, maybe we should posse up. Posse up and start bringing it up.
I would love that.
Awesome. And you know, before we get out of here, I always let my guests have the final word and let you go ahead and, like, if you see somebody, if you could motivate somebody right now and things to look out in life that's living with sickle cell disease, what would you caution them on? What would you say to them? What would you want them to take from Dima Hendricks?
Oh man, life is beautiful despite the pain, and life is still worth living. So hang on.
Yeah, that's it. Life is worth living. So hang on. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah.
We might name a show something like that.
Life is worth living. Hang on. Well, you know what, Mrs. Hendricks, we thank you so much for coming on, living your life. You are absolutely fantastic. I've enjoyed my time with you. I think me and Dr. Hebert, we can both say, hey, you truly living your life, girl. I don't know what else to tell you. You don't even need our help.
That's right.
You're doing it.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. Well, Dr. Hebert, man, give a round of applause for Dima Hendricks. Oh, she did that. Oh, you did that. That's called live your life right there.